can people play on the 14th?
Why do I have January up here?
I hear Jim now. Yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, 14th is fine.
Well, Bibbs is sick tonight, so we're likely not going to play, but maybe. She hasn't gotten back to me with a PDF of her character.
What about Emma? Is she gone for good or just gone for a while or what?
Well, she didn't see any time in the future where she would be able to play because whoever, I think she said 2 different directors. I forget what she said exactly, but are eating up her Saturdays, or if not her whole weekends.
Directors.
But I left it, whatever she does. I left it up to her, to just. Oh, Dave maybe it said something.
Dave is awesome. He's not here.
Well, he sent me something like a few minutes ago, but
It said he was.
Dave's not here.
he didn't join into the.
There's a Dave.
There's Dave.
There is a Dave.
Hello.
He
Boy,
is
Dave.
awesome.
My name is Dave, and I am awesome. Everybody loves me because I am awesome. My name is Dave,
Dave?
and I'm really, really awesome.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't believe me, just listen to what my backup singers have to say about the subject. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's really awesome, yeah. My name is Dave, and I am awesome. Oh yeah, my name is Dave, and I'm awesome.
Always believe the backup singers.
Who are these backup singers and why do they have more credibility than this guy?
Those are hirelings.
They don't just come out of nowhere.
Well, Bibbers is sick, Dave. So we're seeing if we can play again on the 14th because no one's playing Thanksgiving, and George can't play the 7th.
Where's George on the 7th?
December 7th, a day which will live in infamy.
Something's on the calendar.
Oh, he doesn't know what, but he knows he's on the.
Just because
I think the 14th will be
necessarily
okay.
Planned it.
Okay. So we'll probably not play tonight, but I am interested in what you people will want to do. I've never run a 10th level campaign, and you people are nearly there. I'm also interested in whether or not you want to convert characters over to 2024, edition rule.
Oh yes, I'm very keen on some of these 2024 rules. Some of them.
It's an all or nothing thing, I take it, right?
Well, I think at this point, it'd probably be best to recreate the characters and try to get a close approximation if you want to do the 2024 rules.
I'm interested in only because I want to know what the rules are for my own game, so I can decide whether to translate
I
characters over the new rules.
I don't know what any advantage is or anything. I really haven't looked at the new rules yet.
One of the nicer rules is that for the monk, you know how I can occasionally catch a missile weapon at me and redirect it, or just shave off a lot of the damage. So yeah, I can do that with any one attack, except force damage like magic missiles, and then later on at higher levels, I can even do that. Maybe I think.
Yeah, I read something in the earlier monk rules because I remember thinking it was ridiculous that giants could throw boulders at monks and they could turn around and throw it back. Yeah, they never could. they had to be able to hang on to it comfortably.
yeah.
In hand.
It says in one hand. You got to be able to hold it in one hand to throw it back, but not to shave off. Like 2d10 or whatever, how many hit points you are, and if you can get it lower to 0, then you take no damage, of course, and you can redirect it if you can hold it in one hand. Otherwise, I can just shave off that much damage, even if it hits me.
Oh, we're part of game. I get that a stroop waffle.
There you go. I also thought it might be interesting to mentor new characters, and you could do side adventures with first level players.
I mean, as the first level players.
Yeah,
That'd
but
be
you
kind of
wouldn't.
fun.
But somebody could, be like a first level monk that Sagan is training, but it wouldn't have to be Sagan. It could be, you know, George. George could be playing a monk, and this way we could sort of ease into the 2024 rules by making these new first level characters, but also making them like the proteges of other people already in the party.
Certainly.
Oh,
a
that sounds
thought.
like a cool idea, John. I like it.
Well, that, and I could go back to playing some lower level campaigns every now and then, which I like. But also, I want to work on higher level campaigns and what people want to try in them. But right
Well,
now, like ninth level, 2014 characters are, they're just mopping up on CR much better creatures from the monster manual, under current rules.
I think higher level games, they tend to become a little more epic, but it has to be something they care about. Like this last one that you did, this multi-dimensional whatever, and as like we were totally introduced to this and then thrown into the deep end to solve someone else's problem, and that's fine, but it doesn't have the same kind of thing like we're
No.
defending our own town or we're defending our own island.
No, I wanted to try a dungeon crawl, so that's where that came from.
You consider that a dungeon crawl, huh?
That was a dungeon crawl.
Dungeon has, I don't know. It didn't feel like, it had levels to it. They're all the same kind of thing.
There's pretty much 8 levels.
No, it's 8 different things, not levels. So it's not
Just
really,
imagine them stacked vertically.
yeah, and
got a
well,
dungeon.
no, but then also each lower level is progressively harder than the one above. It didn't have that.
Hmm.
And the way if you're like lower level characters, now this would be a good dungeon crawl for first level people. As they get lower and lower, they get higher and higher level too. That's more of a proper dungeon crawl. But
How
Yeah,
great
yeah.
of you.
you're like going through an abandoned city or something like
I
that.
thought a dungeon crawl was just going through a dungeon.
Well, yes, but dungeons are multi levels.
They don't have to be, no.
No, but
Traditionally,
the idea of the dungeon crawl is there's a whole bunch of monsters in one area, and you're like going through different rooms and encountering them. It's like, we'll kick down this door. Oh, there's an Umber Hulk. Well, that's different. There wasn't a lot of sense to dungeon crawls other than there were a bunch of monsters.
poorly written ones, yeah, but better written ones had an integrated society there.
I haven't seen too many better written.
Okay.
I've been very happy with what we've been doing.
That's good. But what would Stroop like to do? I also want to introduce the concept of bastions. So as part of the, we could introduce it as part of the knighthood, where you get some property in the Svarta land, and you could start building keeps or whatever.
Yeah. I was interested in doing that before. I've been trying to do it, but it's always like a side things, and you don't have time for that. And
Well, there are rules for bastions, and the idea is that it's being taken care of by other people, not the party players themselves.
You're not the PCs. You got like followers or NPCs or hirelings. And they stay at home to run your keep and crap like that, and you get income.
Well, you get income, or you could get healing potions or magic items,
Sure.
low-level
And,
creations.
my entire monastery. I mean, for Sagan's character, his idea was like if he ever got up to the highest level of monks, he would take over the monastery, which is essentially, like an entire village.
Well, I mean,
with multi-skilled thing.
that's the sort of thing where you could pick up land next to those people and start building facilities for them.
Well, they are kind of on a mountain, so picking up land next to the mountain is, I suppose,
They
farmland.
don't own
like
all the land on the mountain necessarily. They just own a little bit of it. It's their monastery. It's like
Well,
we can't go over there because the king owns that.
If
Well,
Timidor wanted rock for his shaping, that could also be on a mountain, like the same one, perhaps. There are certainly rules for players to combine their bastions together, so they get, it's different staffs and stuff. You got a different staff running each section, but you can build
But
them.
they're all linked together in Bastion City.
Depending on the magic, if you could turn rock into mud and have like, a kobold workforce, carrying out the mud and stuff like that, you could do some pretty nifty shaping underground. Then again, there are problems too without magic. Big things like that require big magic sometimes, just for ventilation and things. Light.
Well, light's easy.
Light.
I never liked the continual flame thing, but yeah, light's fine.
You don't like it?
I preferred the continual light. I didn't like the switch to the more torch-like, but not torch thing. I just don't like it as much. No.
Well, I'm
Or
not a
tech
big
looker.
fan of that either. I figure you should be able to do either. I like the flickering, so I'm going to put that in here.
Well,
I
for an
figured-
aesthetic reason, yeah, but I mean, just for municipalities, something more like a light pole, like street lights and things like that, with the continual light at the top. It's much more. I don't know. I think it had a better look to it.
Well,
It's just an aesthetic thing, though.
unless you want the aesthetic of the flickering torches going on everywhere.
I also thought, that I would envision it as a stronger, steadier, more illuminating light as opposed to a torch, because I know what a torch looks like, and a torch is pretty damn dim.
Well, I think it is stronger. It says what it illuminates.
It's like
I
20,
never
another
compared it.
20 feet. I
Does
don't
the
know if
continual
torches do
flame
that.
illuminate as much as the continual light used to,
Probably.
and as brightly?
I think it's 20 feet and another 20 feet.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
That's a damn good torch.
yeah, well, that's just it. It doesn't really look like a torch then. It would have to be much brighter than a real torch would be to illuminate that far.
I think the flickering is
It's
just at
brighter,
the
but it can still
epicenter.
look like a flame.
Yeah, it's just at the epicenter where you're getting your little special effect. Otherwise, it's continuous light.
Yeah, so it looks like, a magnesium burning flare or something like that. I got it in my hand and go, shit.
I don't think they say anything about it blazing any brighter at the core. Might be a slightly different color.
Well, then there's
Just
kind of
as
an
the
effect,
effect looks
it
like
may
it's
kind of a
just
being
magical
illuminated.
effect that's going on there more than just like, emulating what a torch light would look like.
It may just be an animated effect at the source, and it just does like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
steady light out beyond it. But you got to have a source mark so you know where to cover it and things.
And I hate the idea of, having a flame like that in my pocket. I just don't like the idea.
It makes me look like a ladder.
Makes me look cool if I can pull fire out of my pocket.
I wear it on the
specifically
top
says
of
it
my
creates
head.
no heat.
Nobody says I'm bald. They go, his hair's on fire.
When I want those continual heat, where's
Yeah.
that spell?
I had, I made that spell for my campaign, continual heat. Yeah.
If
No, I
you
mean,
Whole
Continual
industry
heat.
for it. For,
Continual heat.
it cost quite a bit of money for the common man, but they would have furnaces with continual heat, and that would last for more than a century.
Well, I'm
The
going to add,
continual things had durations that were just very, very, very long.
if you were going to play another character to
Oh, you mean like a new class too, huh?
to
Need
to
a
build,
first level?
yeah, to build a first level character using the new rules.
I hadn't considered that.
See, the idea is I'd like to see people build with the new rules to see how that kind of changes things. With still play the other higher level characters, but it might be interesting to do every now and then. Oh, we'll do this low level campaign. They could, like I said, be proteges, or they could be someone completely different.
Well, playing the monk class was something I hadn't done before, but this was such a powerful looking class that I said, I got to give this a try. And therefore I did, and I enjoyed it because, it's kick ass. Maybe too powerful, maybe broken. I don't know, but, my favorite class is still magic user, but I played one in your world already. So, that would be kind of like a step backwards. I'd have to do something different. And I don't know if cleric still has the same kind of feel or flavor to it as it used to. I don't know. They don't seem that powerful, but you have to have clerics. You got to have them.
Clerics are certainly powerful.
Go to have an healthy cleric.
I don't know. I don't see enough religion though in the game. I don't see Dave's religion. I can't even tell you the name of the god. Right, a Freehat maybe. It just seems to be something
Freehat.
you should know, but yeah, but
Yeah.
Rico.
it's not like he's got a temple.
You don't attend any of Ursa's little sermons.
Well, there are other wizards.
But then again, it's also part of the problem is that you have such unfamiliar gods. These are gods that you made up.
Well, you can read about them. They're not that.
Well, yeah, I know, but they still aren't as familiar to me as the Greek gods, even though I've read about your gods. That just doesn't stick in my brain.
The Greek gods.
Well, Greek gods, for an example, or Norse gods.
Zeus.
Classical mythology, I've been dealing with that all my life. So, I have an idea of these things.
Yeah, D&D's got its own deities.
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can make them. Also, the different time differential is kind of different to deal with on your world too. It's an interesting idea and all, but if you can't condense it back to 24-hour periods, everyone's forever doing conversions, and I don't like that.
Okay.
If we did do another, first level campaign or something like that, this would be the same setting, the same world and all that, or would you do a new world?
No, I would not build a new world. No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you just explain that they would be proteges of our
Well, that was
current
a
characters?
thought, but people may not want to do that.
Oh, okay.
Well, if like George's PC is going to be Sagan's protege, George would like play a monk, then I'd understand that, and then I would be Timidor's protege, or if I played a wizard or something like that, or Ursa's protege if I played a cleric like that.
That was a thought, but that doesn't take advantages of other classes that people might want to try, like sorcery.
Exactly. So you wouldn't have a one-to-one pairing in that way if we want to play something.
Well, nor would they have to.
Yeah, nor would they have.
Certainly, a sorcerer or a warlock could, get training from a.
Or we could just see, a group of monks. We all play monks, and Sagan's there. So these are my followers. Sagan doesn't go out.
Why don't we all play bards? We could be a traveling troupe.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, you could then form your bastion and make a party, and yeah, this is the troubadours. and everybody would then have a bard character with a slightly different background. And every now and
I
then,
wanna-
okay, time for a bastion turn, and we could really do a bastion turn, which would be the bastion characters doing an adventure.
I don't know if this is possible, but I'd have more interest in merging this current campaign with your last campaign. So, like,
I want to play Stroop's chief cook.
I've merged the previous campaign about 3 or 4 different times.
I must have missed it. I mean, there's some connections, yes, but not so strong that. I mean, I'm just actually talking about our characters get together and form one larger group.
You met several of the same people.
Same NPCs, but not each other.
Well, it is possible the NPCs I used were really based upon that other group.
The what?
Nothing.
Right? We never found the boy.
Are we talking about a campaign before Spartaland, or am I disconnecting something?
You weren't in that one. This was
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Christie's brother and Christie's son, and Tom and Jim.
They're off on some adventure never to be seen again, so far as we know.
Oh yeah, there's Philip in that group, and I have no fucking idea what's happening with Philip. I think he divorced the entire family or something like that. Just
He did. I didn't get the papers.
Yeah, well, it's not that kind of.
I didn't sign them.
I was never served.
Get a prenup.
Well, I'm still interested in continuing with the existing characters because I want to know how 10th level and above games work because my
Yeah.
characters on my
mean,
game are
I understand. I wasn't looking
the
to
same level.
end in it.
Oh,
I
I thought you
wanted-
were seeking feedback.
Well, no. Well, yes. I also want to know what the
Seeking
10th level
feedback.
the 10th level people want to do, but the idea of the first level characters was to make me learn the new rules.
I don't think we need to learn the new rule.
The higher level characters just go after higher level targets.
You don't,
So,
well,
more epic things like we'll go into the first level of hell or.
I mean, I looked at the new rules as far as wizards go, and it's like, okay, well, they broke this spell and they broke that spell, and this got screwed over, and it's like I don't see where there's that many advantages in being.
Oh,
in
mirror
the
image
new-
was much better in the new one, wasn't it?
I don't know. It didn't,
I haven't looked at the spells. I mean,
I did the analysis, and anytime they hit an image, it's practically never you.
we certainly don't have to go to the new rule. I'm perfectly fine with 2014 rules. In fact, I might feel even a little more confident with 2014.
Well, the reason I bought the 2024 Player's Handbook is because I was under the impression that you were headed in that direction.
Well, he might be. You don't know. I'm just saying I didn't see any huge advantages because there were things that got worse, things that got better, but it's like
Huh.
sculpting spells around your friends is
Got
not
worse?
something you get at it's not something you get at second level anymore. You get it at sixth level, but at this point, it doesn't matter if Timidor goes, "Oh yeah, I remember getting that at sixth level." What? Huh? I don't know.
I thought it was interesting when you were saying sculpting and waving your hand around the high elf there. And it just looked like the letters were moving around a little.
Well, they were.
I
They don't look
I
like it
already
now.
don't
There.
remember if there was something that happened to the monk. I says, "Oh, that's much worse." I don't remember any of that. I just saw things that I thought were better.
Well,
More.
for monks, probably, but for certain spells, no.
Definitely. I saw some spells that I said that's not as good. I can't tell you right offhand which ones they were.
I don't either. I have to go back and look. point is, I didn't even get through all of them because it's like, well, this is boring.
Yeah, that's another thing about reading the 2024 rules. It goes, this is boring. These things have always
Rules,
been
who
reference
needs
books. It's not a
rules?
riveting read. You read from cover to cover, going, "My, that was good. I can hardly
There,
wait."
there ought to be a change document.
Is there an edition where that was the case where that wasn't boring?
Originally, when I had read them for the first time, it's not like I had read it before and said, "This is boring. I've seen this before." I didn't get that reaction. So yeah, there was a
Yeah.
time.
It was a
But
lot
it was a different Jim.
book.
There's
a lot
of
thinner book
pictures.
too.
There's a lot of pictures.
And also,
lot of
you know,
pictures.
my eyes used to be able to focus on these things. Now it's much harder for me to read. Even with glasses, you know, brand new glasses and stuff like that, it's just much harder for me to read. That's why I like audiobooks, but I don't think I got an audio player's handbook.
Yeah.
I do have it online though, so I can have the computer actually, regurgitate the text. But it's hard to do that because of all the pictures and all the tables.
Well, the one thing that looked the most interesting to me when I was looking through 2024 was the new character creation. And
Why?
I just thought that was a significant change because there was no longer, I am an elf, so I have +1 dexterity.
That's true. That's true. I don't know if I would come out as well as I did on that front. So my stats would probably be lower in some areas.
Oh, I know a wizard thing I like.
Yeah, what?
After resting 1 hour, I can change out a spell.
Weren't cantrips better that way too? You didn't get stuck with a cantrip. You could change out your cantrips.
Maybe I don't know. I've never
They,
been that unhappy with my cantrips.
they can change cantrips every time they wipe their butt.
Yeah.
Kind of trashes the old justifications for cantrips, but
Yeah.
It does, yes.
But being able to learn up a new spell in an hour is like, it's like here we come across a locked door. We got to know if the thief tried everything. It's like, all right, how about that unlock spell, wizard? Well, let's camp for 8 hours and I'll talk to you about it. As opposed
yeah,
to
well,
let's have a short rest.
that's why you had to have scrolls, because I don't want to sit there for 8 hours. So
Let's have a short rest. Yeah, but scrolls were broken under the old one because they
Yeah,
were.
I haven't read the new ones, but didn't you say that scrolls were much better?
Yeah, I think so.
2014 scrolls suck. 2024 scrolls, I don't know.
Well, maybe the thing to do is to look over 2024 and go, yeah, this is better, and just incorporate that. So,
20 and 2E scrolls all had wizards being paper boys.
It's like somebody made discoveries in the meantime. It's like
yes.
new techniques.
So yes, we wouldn't have to go to 2024, but like, oh no, here's how scrolls properly need to be done under the ASCII method.
Yeah, we've never done scrolls before, but they've always been done this way in this world.
Sure. I would, rather than just say I'm going to adopt 2024 whole hog, I would say let's just take any pieces of it, have the DM clear each one, and say, okay, that's the new rule. Go ahead and play by that.
It's like you can pick a good thing as long as you pick a bad thing.
Well, if there are some bad ones in there, you point them out and say, what do you think of this? And he goes, okay, yeah, go ahead and use it. But then a lot of times, as you say, it was bad because, you don't get it at second level, you get it at sixth level, and it wouldn't matter to you now.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter to me at this point. It's like, I'm willing to take that. I didn't get the people nowadays don't get this till sixth level.
Good thing old school people got it at third level.
Good thing I already know it.
They don't actually have a test that can show if you've ever had COVID, do they?
Sure, I assume they do, but I don't think it's one you can get for cheap.
And the fact that you had vaccines wouldn't screw that test up.
No, there's different things that they look for. Vaccines are all based on spike proteins, and if you look for the nucleocapsid proteins, you didn't get them from a vaccine.
Those are actual.
So yes, they have ways they can tell, but I don't not in any test that normal humans can have. Researchers can get them though.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Because for all I know, I've had COVID, once or twice, but I'm certainly coughing for a couple months there, a lot more than I am now.
Dungeon Ingenue has started.
Let me throw that.
Do we have treasure?
I'm
we're
just
supposed to
throwing
pass
up
out?
Svarta.
Well,
I
I've
think the
seen
treasure
Svarta.
was on hold.
You
So-
know, and I don't know where you might have been intending on putting certain kinds of interesting things to be done.
I
Where have
can
we
put
been?
them
Where's that?
pretty much
Where's
anywhere.
that?
well, we were over
Where's
at that
that?
lake
What lake were we at?
over at
It's over there
Niedriger
by
Verter.
Niedriger.
That
yeah.
lake. We were at that lake.
So
Any
we've
of
done,
these mountains would be good, for things like cloud giants or
Let's
dragon.
let's refer back to where people were actually from. So, Jim, you were from where?
There's a town called Radkus there, and go to the west, that mountain there, that big one that's above Harterwald. That's the mountain where my monastery is, and it's at near one of those peaks, maybe the largest one. And
I
there's
thought you were west of Messer Sachs.
huh,
I,
You
I
might-
thought you were there
yeah, you might be right. It might be that little mountain there.
because we went by there with the black dragons.
Let me look and see what it says. Here we go.
And Ursa, you said you were from the Nervy area?
Yep.
Nervy? Where's that? Oh, way up there.
North.
That's to the north. And Stroop, you were originally down there, kind of where we just were, around that big lake area, right?
Probably.
Probably.
Probably,
Some
yeah.
sort of
Well,
area.
you certainly spent some time there. But perhaps it's better that your whereabouts is unknown.
I even called the western and southern faces of what does it say? Murivor Arnon, the mountain 20 miles west of Mercer Sachs.
Yeah, I think I gave that a real name based upon.
No, I gave it a real name, I think.
No, you gave me
always
gave me the name, and then I gave it the proper Sparta name for it.
Oh. All right, if that's the way.
And
Where
let's
is
see,
Nadriga
Timidor
Verter?
was
He's from Raimuti.
okay. Yeah, that's right. Was it like between there and the mountains?
I didn't specify wherever elves would be. You know, I don't know what you had in mind for Raimuti being,
Right, maybe TB.
other than you said they make tobacco there. They grow tobacco in the region. I don't remember what else they do. And I don't know if the city is mostly people or if the city is elves or if the elves live in a nearby forested area.
Yeah,
or
I think
what's
I
the
made this
deal?
name. This is an elven word that is for a cordial or a drink, and that went into my backstory of how wine and stuff is made in the area. Let's see what Arnon means. or Amnon, or what is it?
I mean, there's forests north of Raimuti. Maybe elves live in there.
Let me look up Raimuti. Okay. Oh, well, turns out they're the High Elvish community.
Ammon means apparently hill.
Known for fresh fruits, wine, distilled spirits, brandy, gin, whiskey, and rum. So apparently that is the High Elves getting drunk.
It didn't say tobacco, or is the tobacco from Ebroni over there?
Yeah, I think it is. Let me look up Ebroni. Known for its yew trees, hogweed tobacco, beet sugar, confectionaries. They make
Yeah,
candy and tobacco.
So tobacco coming through the pass there,
Yeah.
That's where I was able to easily get my stogies.
Yep, sugar and tobacco. But Raimuti is high elves, so that is the biggest concentration in Svarta of high elves.
How you been? Hi, elves.
And the north face of the mountain is suitable for growing grapes and blackberries. Small 10-acre vineyard allows the monks to produce about 6,000 bottles of wine per year. The Honai Monastery is an orphanage of sorts, supplying the monastery with the workforce. About 90% of all orphans who grow up there
Become slaves.
become young
Nice.
adults and possess some of the select skills used throughout the monastery, which span a considerable collection of skills since it's almost a small village unto itself.
Monastery, orphanage, and wine.
Small copper mine there.
But like the government guy, Mikhail, whatever his name was.
Yep.
He's
Mikhail,
like,
maybe?
"Oh, we had crap show up over there. We need to send you." And what's her name? Oh, we got crap showing up down here. We need to send you. I thought there'd be like maybe some people are delving too deeply nowadays, and who knows what shit they come across, and in goes the specialists. I figured
Oh
we
yeah. There's certainly that. The Knights of Sparta would be used as strike forces for various activities like that.
Anywhere around the
It's like,
country
"Oh,
where
get
it's
in
like,
there. We got our asses whipped. Well, we'll send in the Red Gold Company."
yeah, it's like wherever something, and there could be dungeons down there and multi levels even.
Multi-level is the key part. I got it.
I got it.
Anything is possible.
It's like here's the shit, man. And in the meantime, we're like dicking around. I don't know.
Hey, George,
See,
when you have your character on D&D Beyond, right?
correct.
Did it automatically convert your character to the new rules?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh,
I think you have, if I remember right, you have to choose that somewhere.
Yeah, that would be fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, I think they did that. And then they had to retract it.
Oh,
People got pissed.
people should get pissed.
Yeah.
That's offensive.
Yeah.
What's offensive?
Them
Um,
updating characters online to the new rules
Why is that offensive? What?
because people didn't necessarily have to buy the new rules. They're not necessarily playing the new rules.
These people who are using automatic character sheet things, all of a sudden it's like, oh, your spell doesn't work that way anymore.
Ooh, what? I mean,
They're having trouble seeing the offense. I mean, they might not like it, but offense.
You don't see the offense? You took in my character sheet and turned it into something else?
Yeah, I definitely see the offense. If you're a DM, you got an existing campaign based on 2014 rules, and all of a sudden, bam, your character's
Like,
got converted.
okay, I'll cast fireball and sculpt it around all my friends. Oh, sorry, you can't do that anymore.
Meanwhile, you've turned all your party into Yoro.
Yeah, I guess offense just isn't the word I would use there. Be pissed, be angry. Offense.
I forget where Bibbs is from. But she was starting to make a homeland on Lenore. So
Yeah, she bought property.
No, she just
Yes.
had some property that,
I was also investing in that property. I was, making an apiary there and doing honey and mead.
honey and mead.
I found out what it cost in real life and kind of made a translation to that and subtracted some gold to set up such
Do
things
see here,
for the twins.
there used to be a checkbox or something for inspiration. Now it's called heroic inspiration.
yes, it is. You've been changed.
Everybody and their brother gets it for wiping their butt.
Oh, boy.
Pretty much. Oh, I've long rested. Well, I have heroic inspiration.
Nah,
I got up today. Have heroic. Yeah, it's pretty much.
nah.
It seemed like it. And I can use it for everything now.
Once.
Yeah, no, I mean, for anything pretty much in the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
I
you only
see.
get one of them.
The Honai Monastery is just a joke, as Honai is Pani.
So,
Yeah.
the only thing, as I say, that concerned me was that there appeared to be some limit on, it seemed somebody was hunting high level mages.
Well, that still may be the case. There's not a lot of high
In
level.
which case, my character gets screwed as we go up levels.
What was the case? Was that there was a wayward lich out there somewhere going to do some pretty bad stuff? Did we ever solve that problem about the corrupt artifacts and stuff like that, or did we just work on it for a little bit and take off?
Well, we took off.
Yeah,
That's the northern island that's doing that.
that wasn't Svarta. That's someone else's problem, right?
Oh, I got the impression, like Ukraine, it might be someone else's problem, but it could become our problem.
If you make it your problem, yeah.
Well,
All my spells have a source where they came from, and so far all of them are from Player's Handbook 2014
is queendom really a word?
or taught.
So does it say legacy by your spells?
What's wrong with queendom?
I was just
It
wondering
does
if it's
say
really a
legacy
word.
by my spells.
Yeah. Same with my
In your
characters.
legacy. But are certain abilities legacy? Like if I was to have my character on there, and he was not, beyond 6th level, would he still be able to sculpt or something? Or does it even keep track of that? Well, that's an ability that I have at a certain point. Does it list your special abilities? Like Timidor has
inspiration here.
Timidor has like sculpt spells, and he's got arcane recovery. Does it keep track of those things? He's got potent cantrip. Does it keep track of that somewhere on that sheet? I would know.
Probably.
I'm guessing.
I have
I'm
stuff
guessing
here.
it has.
Like I have additional magical secrets and counter charm. What's that?
Your
That's if
audio is a
you-
And if
bit
you
quiet,
were-
George, by the way.
Sorry.
No, that's much
Is
better.
it helps if I have it by my mouth. This is a very directional microphone.
Oh, yes.
But it can do this.
Fuck.
Oh, do the God of the elevating moment from Monty Python into that. Well, that's the toad elevating. Oh, so that's it's the mind.
mind.
Straight as
Okay,
feeling.
so people want to do strike forces,
Yeah.
call in to do special mission. Don't
Strike versus
clearly
special
want to do the 2024 rules.
quest as long as they don't last, like
Oh,
more than three.
I didn't say that.
3 sessions.
I wouldn't mind, bringing in certain 2024 rules, but just
Yes.
approve them individually. I wouldn't want to go back and try and remake my whole character. It's like, however he got to be here, that's how he is.
Yeah, I didn't see the point in remaking the character like that. Just
Maybe we just do the proteges as under the new rules.
if,
If
we,
we
do,
do any protege.
Well, is there any desire to do that?
I have no great desire to just work up another character to walk them through, low level rules of 2024. No.
I do.
So,
I can go either way.
It's true.
And-
It's true.
and
If
you
one were
do.
expecting to DM a game, that would probably be a good thing to do.
so Dave, yeah. Jim, no. George, I go both ways.
Are there new character classes in 2024 that weren't in 2014?
Currently, there's actually less.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Play an
there's certain
artificer.
things like there's no half anything shit, right?
Nope.
No half elves, no half orcs.
Now,
none
to
of that.
be fair, I've seen pictures of their orcs. Their orcs now are like quarter orcs, mostly 3/4 human. I
mean,
hear a lot of shit online about people pissed off about orcs.
I mean, in 2024, it's safe for the farmers to fuck their sheep now,
Yes.
whereas 2014 that wasn't the case.
No. It's in the rules.
Yeah,
I doubt it's in the rules about fucking sheep. I doubt it.
I did not want to, but
it was implied.
wait a minute. Who's fucking sheep? Farmers?
The Australians.
Oh yeah.
You're playing an Australian.
yes. Okay.
Still wanted
And-
to find my magic items. Hey, did we ever do everything that was to be done with the tea lady sorcerer? She had a bigger dungeon complex there, and we just didn't do it all, or
The no, I don't think there was any more to that complex.
so she just had the skill that I wanted to use. Okay. I thought she was quite powerful, though. More powerful than we were at the time. I don't know about now, but she can definitely do things we can't. Combine magic items. Huh? I mean, how do you do that? Who else does that? Just her? Anyone else I ever hear of do that?
Nope. Never heard anyone else do that.
Yeah. That's just not your normal skill.
Those were hags. Those were.
Hmm. Hey, we saved a hag too. Where's she? Yeah, she's
Healing word changes from 1 die 4 to 2 die 4 per level.
What did?
Healing word.
Oh yeah.
yeah, sure.
You
Lots of
die
fun.
for?
2 die 4 rather than 1 die 4.
Damn, that's an impressive upgrade.
Yeah. 2 die 4 plus your spell casting ability modifier.
Did Tom want to try a first level character or not?
Oh, not particularly. It's
All right.
if you want to play 2024, you should with new characters. You should play 2024 with new characters. That's make a new game or something. I don't.
That's true. I would probably be more for that. If you did want to do a first level 2024 game, I wouldn't tie it to this campaign or these characters anyway.
That seems
Okay,
like a
no,
lot of work for John, though.
I was kicking around ideas
Oh,
for
not really. We just
higher level
come
campaigns are like.
from a different lore in the Mark Sea or something like that, a different island.
And
Or
low level characters. Because
they
one
got
of the
low level
things is
concerns.
as we keep running up against these higher level monsters, I mean, these guys like pound on Sagan and pound him, and it's like, if they went like attack Timidor, yeah, he'd die because he hasn't got nearly as many hit points and stuff.
There is that.
And then on a first level character, they'd just be killed.
Well, I don't think by mentoring, I mean, they'd be like, characters that would travel with us. There's more like things that we would do at home, and this guy's, and then the little low life, I won't say low life, low level characters go off on their own. We do a different campaign with them.
It's like, hey, Sagan's wine shipment disappeared. He's going to be pissed. We better go find that.
Yeah, exactly. These low level things where you have to go and suss out, where some thieves or some bandits are. It's just a low level group of thieves that can get away with
all
it.
our different bastions are, and all these people moving hither and yon, and it's like, how does this happen? You get a bunch of logistical problems with having people where they need to be.
That's why the idea of like 5 junior monks was appealing, because they're all in the same place.
The only replacement character that I was interested in was just a thief, because we don't have a thief. I thought that was one of the reasons for suggesting that was, you need a thief, so you could be a thief.
There is that, because there's, like in the Simhar days, we made these second characters, and they ran along with the regular group.
Yeah, how did that work though? I mean, the high level people running around with low level people, and we just keep the low level people in the back, and then they were sharing, mountains of XP that they probably weren't really entitled to.
Yeah, but they went up rapidly that way.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Like, and he goes up 5 levels. It's like,
then of course, there's the idea of henchmen.
Yeah.
Maybe you want henchmen, and different people could play like Sagan's henchmen, or Stroop gets a couple bodyguards.
That sounds like a huge investment of limited time that we don't have just to play a henchman. I mean, it might be fun in a way, role-playing exercises and such, but I don't think I'd want to do a whole campaign where I'm playing a henchman.
Well, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting instead of bringing in first level characters, you could bring in henchmen who go along.
One could hire or bring in a 6th level thief, and it's like, who wants to play the 6th level thief today?
Yeah, you wouldn't all need henchmen. Yes, it's like,
learn your thiefy stuff. Oh, Jerry's here. He wants to play a 6th level thief. Here he is.
Yes, and certainly we could reach out for like a player of the week playing, Biff the henchman. Because I don't know, maybe like 3 years back, Todd Schweim once said something like, I always wanted to give that game a try. Well, come in for one night and play Biff the henchman.
What game?
D&D. He was talking about D&D with me one time.
Yeah, I've seen people who are kind of interested in sitting down.
Todd Schweim. I think
they realize, my God.
Todd Schweim. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
They realize, oh my God, this isn't a game where I sit down for like an hour or two and we have a winner. I'm sitting here for like 8 hours and, don't know.
That's why it would be no real commitment. You come in and it's like, well, come in and see if you're interested.
They're like, all right, I didn't enjoy this. It's like, that's fine. Well, somebody else will play that character. It's like, that way the party owns a thief rather than keep having these characters that come and go that take their thieves with them. It's like, we need a thief.
Honestly, if John wanted to fix it, he could just give us a magic item that did that job.
No, I already suggested that Stroop could buy one.
Buy a magic item?
Well, yeah, they have, you know, since AD&D days, they've had gauntlets of like thievery or whatever the fuck they were called.
Yeah, or buy a tome of lock picking and read it up and magically. Boop,
Time
there,
of
I
opening
know
that
lock
works
picking.
once a day. That'd be fine.
Oh, only if you only encounter something once a day.
But the reason I brought up henchmen is because it's like a 10th level thing, higher and stuff. I'm looking at things for 10th level campaigns, of which I've never run.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you mentioned that we were going to get titles and maybe did you say land too, or just titles, or what?
Even in AD&D, even in AD&D days at 10th level, you got to build your keep and stuff. So
Yeah,
I'm keeping
exactly.
with AD&D rules.
So
John says,
I don't know if is this
John,
island
we
that we're
already have the
currently on
titles.
really the place to do, to set up a home for the rest of your life, or would you want to do this something on the mainland? We're only stuck on this island because the Queen put us here. Is this really a great place?
You're not even stuck on the island.
Yeah.
You're
Oh.
you're now with the Countess wherever she goes.
yeah, and
We're tied to her in some way.
Yeah, she's your boss
For how long?
until they swap
Forever.
you out with a different boss.
Fortnite.
I'm sorry. Forever.
I thought like we were signed up for a military hitch for how long?
3 seasons. You have 11 days left because you did 2 days in a foreign land.
Okay, but that's 11 days left of the 3 seasons.
That's the
The
11 days,
original.
3 seasons. Yes,
And
and then
the
you go on to knighthood, which
But we
basically
signed up for extended hitches.
yes,
is that what we did?
yes,
That's what that was offered to us. Yes.
And did we take it?
yes.
Yeah.
I
It
see.
was like, well, I can order you in. I wouldn't want to do that. Or I can offer you the advanced program
All right,
where
so-
you get land and
Yeah. How long is the
bastion
extended
and
hitch? then?
title.
It's pretty much ongoing. I mean,
I
until
see.
you stop it. Basically, half your time each season is spent doing stuff for the country, and then you can do other stuff.
Okay, and who is this person at the top? What was her name?
The person right now is the Lavissa Cedarhome.
And how is she related in any way to the Queen of Svarta?
Well, she is a countess, and she is a third cousin.
Okay, so she's part of that same system.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And where is her kind of? Is it like a not a kingdom or what? Which or what does a countess rule? What land?
A duchy?
A duchy? Okay, is that a duchy? Okay.
I don't know. Is that where countesses come from?
Oh no, that would be
No.
a duke, wouldn't it? Or
Yep.
Duchess are, basically there are counties. Let me share this instead.
kingdoms have
Countess's
kingdoms.
land is
Kings have
typically called
kingdoms.
a county.
And dukes next after king, and they
Are
have
you
a,
doing the Kenny? Are you doing the Kenny Everett joke?
no.
No, I just searched for it.
It's the Kenny Everett joke. It's pretty funny. And it got him
One of his
kicked off
better
TV, I
jokes.
guess.
Yes.
I don't think I've
I
heard
was
it.
gonna say,
Oh, he doesn't
haven't either.
tell him.
a kingdom rules a king rules a kingdom. Was a duke rules
A dukedom.
a dukedom. He wonders what Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher
because
ruled
she rules a country.
Margaret Thatcher rules the country. So what is she?
Implying that she's a cunt.
Oh, he didn't
I
say
get-
that.
He didn't
You
say.
don't do the punchline.
Okay. On this map I'm sharing now, she's southwest of Fort Mouth in that community there called Afterclaw. She's actually the countess of the Ostlickeron area.
Oh, liquor.
Want some food, Tommy? You can
Oh,
bring it back.
There's food for me. I'll be right back.
She's the Countess of Asslicker.
Kind of the ass liquor.
Who
And
rules
you-
Fritland? Who rules Fritlander? Who rules that on the yellow?
Fritlander's a whole nother city state.
Yeah. Who rules it?
Well, it's not ruled by a king. It's basically a union of tradespeople.
And the girl is we're at peace with Fritlander.
Well, you're at peace with everyone.
I'm being repressed!
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Fritlander was the historic battle zone where the countries on either side of Fritlander basically fought each other in Fritlander. So
And if we were to
Fritlander-
set up shop in Fritlander, we would run into opposition from who? Just guild?
well, the people who own Fritlander counties,
Right. Okay. Well, do they have undeveloped land that they would sell for relatively cheap, for our development?
they do not.
Mhm.
What's
And-
this? What's going on? What?
I was just wondering, if we were
Tim
to
is
set up-
trying to buy Fritlander land, and I said no.
Oh, well.
Well,
not
what are
much
these-
to-
What are these areas here? Like, what Fienberg? How's that in the midst of Fritlander and Stavel, Sock? What is this? Why are they not connected?
Why is who not connected?
These green areas, like I said, Fienberg.
Well, you got the Fritlander areas. That's a different, country, and
Yeah.
Sparta areas.
Why is
this-
Fienberger in the midst of Fritlander?
Is Fienberger part of Fritlander?
uh, Fienberg? No, that's a mountain chain. That's part of that's part of Fritland.
Oh, so it's just a different color because it's a mountain.
Yeah, well, they're the Fritlander mountain.
So
Ah,
this is a map showing mountains.
Yeah,
I see.
They're not areas that people own.
I threw this one up because the Countess is in Afterclaw. That's her little area, and she is the Countess of Uslekeran. He wanted to know what she owned, so I threw
Yeah.
this.
So she's an afterthought to the butt liquor rand.
Yeah, it's not afterthought; it's Afterclaw.
And
It's
we're
not
going to
public
we're going to
either.
get land in this area of Ostlicker.
The idea is you could have land pretty much anywhere in Sparta, but not necessarily land that say a baron or somebody currently has. But
How come Lenore is the same color as Ostlicker?
It is, well, because it's part of Queendom.
because
Well,
it's part
when
of Sparta.
And this land that we get, could it be part of Lenore?
Yes.
Okay. How much? Half
Well, I mean,
Lenore. And for the rest
The amount of land is going to vary based upon where you get it and how valuable the land is.
And
Oh,
for my brother,
If you
and for the
wanted
rest
to
of the party?
if Stroop wanted to make a theater, for instance, in the capital, it would be a very small place. But if he wanted to make a wizard tower on Lenore, you're probably going to get a good chunk of ground.
And if I wanted to build an entire village or city, I would have no people necessarily, unless I'd hire them in to do jobs and they would live there. And how much money do I have?
you could buy other parts of that mountain and just give it to your other people.
Well,
Where's the
yeah, but
capital?
I thought that if we did this, we'd probably have to be in close proximity to one another, or the group would essentially be broken up.
No, the idea of the bastions is basically you have some guy who's running that for you.
I see. So we don't.
It's kind of like a separate, occasionally you talk with the DM outside of the game. You go, here's what I want to do. I drew this map. Does this look right? That sort of shit.
Well, then I guess the thing that Sagan would probably want to do is to expand the monasteries areas and probably increase the vinlands and the
See,
vineyards.
if it turns out, we just didn't know this because it was above our pay grade. But maybe it turns out that there's a bunch of magic circles around that we didn't know about.
What about our underwater keep?
It is, well, I mean, that land is currently in dispute, but that's certainly a possibility.
Well, part of the reason that it's in dispute is because no one's living there. Whereas if we lived there,
Oh, well, sorry. Which underwater area are you talking about?
remember we built the airlocks?
Okay, that bit is, there was no land there before.
And there is a high level wizard who thinks he owns it, probably.
There
I
is
thought
that.
he was dead.
Well, they just haven't seen him.
We don't know he's dead.
I see. High level wizards. Yeah, he's probably a lich now, and he still thinks he owns the land.
Well, I don't think he's that high level. I don't think he's a rich now.
Well, maybe we should find him.
The search for
Kind of like a spit take.
Robespierre.
Robespierre.
You killed him once.
Not for now.
A homunculus, yeah.
So how is it
You
that
know-
like the early D&D games, like Arneson's Blackmore, how did they handle these? I know that they had bastions and things like that, but
I,
how did it integrate into a group setting somehow?
I'm not up on what he did in Blackmore. I just knew that, some guy had come up with the idea of Bronsteins, and then his was the Blackmore fantasy version of a Bronstein.
Yeah.
When you started talking about bastions and Blackmore, I was going, I hadn't heard anything about bastions and Blackmore. But it makes sense to me because those players in Blackmore and in that gaming society routinely did things where they would come over to some guy's house and they would go, "What are we doing tonight?" "Well, you're the sheriff of this particular town, and you 6 guys are these various people." And so they would play that particular role for that evening. So they could have easily done bastions in that matter. It's like, you're the cook, you're the shencho, you're, this, that, the other thing.
Someone's playing a cook.
Well, yeah. I mean, because then they were each given a mission. Here's like your winning conditions. And then that's how they would basically play their evening out. You are
I guess I
mayor of
don't
this
know
city.
what game you're speaking. Are you talking about a role playing game where someone's going to be role playing the cook
Well,
tonight?
it's essentially the first fantasy role playing game.
He's talking ancient history here.
Yeah. Well, like 1970 or so.
After role playing ancient history.
How
Yeah.
about we get these little characters and try to, get off Survival Island or whatever it's called before it sinks?
Yeah. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yes, the way I've only briefly read through the 2024 rules on bastions, and basically it's like, okay, your party has just done a week of adventuring, and now you just stop and say, you got a bastion turn now. It's like, oh yeah, okay, well here's what my guys have been doing. They built me a healing potion. So if I wander over there next time, I'm going to pick up that healing potion. That's kind of how they integrate it in the game. They don't spend like more than like 5 minutes or so, I think, in the D&D session. That doesn't mean like you and I couldn't spend like 16 hours talking about,
Talking about the cook getting his ingredients. The stuff you have bread and it don't hurt because you're dead.
So, I mean, that's it. I mean, so the idea is, people in the game want to have a castle. And why not?
Yeah.
I just remember watching some films on Blackmore and some of the participants, and one of the guys was just had a lot of fond memories of being a landowner and owning this thing and having a title and things like that.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
I
like,
mean, they had whole sessions based upon some guy being an innkeeper and just sometime during the night they had some I think some ruffians came by and tried to shake him down for money. It's just so I think he got some farmer friends and beat them up. I mean, yeah, that's an okay game. I mean, I seem to remember playing that semi board game, Survive the Wilderness or Escape the Wilderness. That was kind of fun.
Survival,
like-
sure. Wow. Yeah, could be.
It's like, here we're Cub Scouts, and somehow we got lost. So your mission is to get to the city. And it's like you have a compass. Bob's got a switchblade. Tony's got his bow and arrow.
I've seen movies like that.
And those are kind of fun. I'm not suggesting that's 10th level game fun, but
Yeah.
Switchblade. And
He's
multiple
got a tank and he's got a nuke.
Nook. Nook.
A nuke. A nuke.
What do we have for magic that could do we have like a rock to mud, that kind of thing? Do we
I do.
great areas of excavation? Huh?
I think Timidor and Ursa can do all sorts of building stuff.
I can do rock to mud, and Ursa and I can do wall of stone.
and I've got that hammer to sculpt. 3 fine.
And I would have to hire sculptors to finish mine off.
I was just thinking that's one of the things that we could also do, go much deeper into the mountain there where the monastery is.
I mean, certainly as Sparta Knights, your whole time won't be doing, strike force stuff. So there will be opportunities to go, okay, we're going to move ahead a month. What have you guys done during that month? You could have at that time, we've done all this stone shaping.
Well, I would assume it would be okay. You guys can be doing stuff until there's a call from the gov.
Yeah.
And you got to go do stuff, and
Right.
it's like he can't call you for more than 6 months of time out of the year. So
Yep. That's
decide what
essentially-
you're doing for the other 6 months.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. So that's
But
how we should proceed. We each have our kind of keep
But I would-
ideas.
Yeah.
would
So, I mean,
think
you
that-
get some property.
I would think that to make it easier to move between some of these places, we should run across places where there's magic circles, so that we have some way of getting together. For these, Avengers Assemble.
Do teleports just go to, how do the teleports work here? You just go to a place there's already a circle, and it takes like a year to make one of those.
Yeah, so there'd have to either be, well, there's a temple in this town that
Yeah.
has a magic circle, and so
You just teleport to the circle. You don't have to teleport from a circle.
no, you have to teleport to the circle.
To the circle. Yes, and there are
Oh,
ways of,
yeah.
of fast tracking magic circles.
But
Yeah.
there's, I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean-
that would make it easy for Timidor to go. How many people can you take in a spell like that?
Everybody.
You got like 6 seconds to run people into a
Like
van.
the gate opens and the whole
You
column
open
of
up the
people-
back of the van, you run in. How many can you get in?
whole
6
column of
seconds?
people run into the.
Yeah,
and
but
I
the point
think-
is, if we're in like 6, 7 different locations, we can't all just teleport there because we're not all wizards.
No, I'm saying if there were like 3 locations, then that would be reasonable for like boop boop, to pick up the team.
Yeah, it would take you what, like a day, 3 days to get everyone?
Well, no, it's a 5th level spell.
Well, this lends some, you could build bastions in the same place, sort of deal.
Right, but I mean, we wouldn't all have to be in one same place
No, you
if
would
there
not.
were magic circle connectivity. I mean, maybe one of these places we clean out, it's like, oh, we didn't even know this place was down here. Oh, fuck, it's got a magic circle too. It's like that,
Our half of
that
year
underground.
of service, is that always continuous?
What?
Sorry, what?
Well, what you said, we do a half a year of service. Is that always like continuous, or can it be broken up? Just half a year?
Yeah. 2 months here, 2 months there, 2 months
I'm
there.
saying I think it makes sense that they
Yeah.
call us for whenever they need us, but it's limited to 6 months of time
Yeah.
per year.
So they might work you 6 months straight on something and go, okay, well, it's your time off now.
You're off for the rest of the year.
But they
want
wouldn't
to pay you
I would
necessarily
think
do
I would think they'd only do that, if they had a specific.
No, they do like, hey, we got a mission for you, and then it might
I
not
don't care if it takes 6
2
months or a year, After you're done though, you get the appropriate amount of time off.
and not all the service time has to be adventuring. You could actually rule a particular area and do government work and shit like that. But if we could establish where you want property, that could go a long ways towards
Oh,
Yeah.
I think around that mountain where my monastery is a good place for me.
Well, of
Okay.
course you would think that.
Well, if George wants to be bardish, he'd probably want to be in a city.
And anyone who wanted to like drill deeper down into a mountain, maybe grow, I don't know, mushrooms or do some other kind of thing that you have kind of some other kind of dungeon-like community
Wait,
underground.
you're encouraging them to do mushrooms? What?
Why not? Yeah. Oh, well, it's not those kinds of mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms. Why not
Oh, could do those
psychedelic
kind of
mushrooms?
mushrooms.
Why not? If they got them, they're not particularly bad. I don't know the kind of thing. I've never really researched mushrooms. Are they like terribly addictive or something? Or
I was just making a joke. I don't care what.
yes. I understand.
I don't have a
But as a matter of practicality, that might be the sort of thing that one could have. Psychedelic mushrooms that you buy is just as good as growing vineyards to make wine, or honey to make meat, or tobacco to make cigarettes. These are just some of the vices that people enjoy.
probably get you more cash too.
Yeah. I don't know. Usually drugs are very profitable because they're illegal. If they weren't illegal, I don't think they'd be as profitable as that. So,
Tell that to
And
the pharmaceutical companies.
mm.
Okay. So on the map I'm sharing, I put an arrow about where Sagan is be hanging out. So how about the rest of you? Anybody want to combine areas?
I was
Well,
suggesting just Nervi for Ursa in my last correspondence with you.
Okay, so you were interested somewhere up here making some sort of hospital. Okay. Timidor have any preference? Timidor wants to go wherever there's a magic circle he can find.
Or
yeah.
maybe the monastery needs a magic circle, and you might like it there. I mean, there's a library, one of the biggest libraries there is.
Well, I mean, there either has to be, I mean, in any of these places, if we're going to spread people out, there has to be a reason that there's a magic circle nearby that,
Let's see.
like,
Where do you know magic circles?
uh,
There's one here. There's one here.
wait, where are you pointing?
I
Oh,
went
yeah.
around.
Odzwawars, there's one there. I assume there has to be one in the capital, at least
Yeah.
one in the capital.
And there was one around here by the Great Lakes.
I don't know what Great Lakes you're talking about.
Over there on the west area.
Oh, yeah. That has limited
And
accessibility.
yes, there's most certainly one at Hartwald. There's very
know.
likely one at Fort Mouth.
What happened to the map you were sharing?
What I'm
He's
sharing.
still showing a map.
Oh,
Did you close his thing?
I may have. I don't know. It was. I see all of you guys fully expanded. I don't see the map now. That usually
Then
cut you off.
you're not looking at the share view for some reason.
Yeah, how do I look at the share view? There we go. Share. What's that say? It says send request to replace current share. Someone else is sharing. You can request multiple presenter sharing for this
Oh,
meeting.
you're trying to share.
Oh, all right. So how do I see what you're sharing?
I don't know. Click on Zoom.
There we go.
There's two different tabs on
Introduce
my
screen.
browser.
Yeah.
There's a tab with the screen sharing,
Okay,
there's a tab
okay.
with the meeting view.
Okay.
I've never seen that before. That must be new.
Yeah, the east side of the mountain
I'm not
is
seeing what-
one of the gentler approaches. So land in that area will be fine for me. Yeah.
Well, he's not too far away from the capital, so we'll look into getting you access to a magic circle in the capital.
What's the capital?
It's Hartwald.
Hartwell. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah.
It's pretty close to
And-
where
And where
Yeah,
is
I could run there in a few hours.
it's about 25 miles away from the monastery, as the crow falls.
But I mean, in what's it called? Teleportation circle?
Magic Steed is so cool. I wish I had one.
Yeah, I think it's magic circle, teleportation circle,
Teleportation circle.
circle.
What are these kind of circle or ovals around Hartwell and other cities? Why are
Starts
they?
marking where things might be or people want to be.
Where people want to be. I didn't have a different color.
So, I mean, in the spell, it says like major temples, many major temples, guilds, and other important places have permanent teleportation circles.
I think it's a pretty good chance that every one of these major cities has one. Yes.
You know, and like I say, there may be, maybe we find one, or maybe they know of some up in the mountains that's like, oh yeah, there's one up there where we cleared out some place. We couldn't clear out the whole place because there's still nasty monsters in it. It's like,
They also have security issues with these things. Like the enemies could use them to come in, so there's probably guarded in some way.
well, usually that just involves having a locked door. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Where's the monastery?
It's
In the mo- where
on
that
the
arrow
mountain to the
is.
west of Mishisax. Yes. The south side is very steep, and the north side is very gentle, and the south side's got like thousands upon thousands of concrete flower boxes that were built there by the monks.
It is pretty close to the capital, George. So I mean, if you wanted to someday have a theater company or something, that's a more populated area. There's also that red-headed hobbit chick in Messersax. That's pretty close by.
And this lake here, lakefront property is always pretty good.
I mean, it seemed like a pretty low rent area.
This area over here, the Great Lake where you just were, no, that's real shitty property for lakefront.
Yeah.
But
There's
the one
almost
by
there's
Bum-
almost nobody
Bumland?
living there. However,
Yeah.
you could probably, get that little island if you wanted it.
What the one?
Be
with the
kind of hard
vampires
for
on it?
people to get to if I was doing a theater.
No, yeah.
No, we're not suggesting that for George. That's the anti.
If you're doing a theater, you should do it in the capital. You can probably buy
No,
Or
there's
maybe
there's probably
close.
already, Bardic colleges and stuff in the capital.
Maybe he wants to pick another theater.
I'm suggesting Messersax is probably a better place.
Yeah, Messer
Yeah.
He's already made
What's-
some connections there.
That's true.
And they got a
What's the
place called
Raimuti area look like?
and they got a place called the Fiddler's Green.
Ooh, I like that.
Yep.
It's
Vineyards
very
and
Colorado
apiaries.
like.
What's this area down here, George? That's
The
mostly high
Rhinegean.
elves,
That's high snooty elves live there.
high snooty elves, and a lot of drinking. So you
High
probably
rent,
get that.
high rent district.
I
Though.
like a lot of drinking, but I don't like the high snooty elves.
Yes.
Yeah, particularly
What?
the rotten tippers.
This area basically over here in the west is kind of like the Wild West in that there's not a lot of settlement and not a lot of political control,
Not a lot of law out there, guys.
not a lot of law. So
I'd
relax.
probably go for something in the Messer Sachs area.
This west.
It would certainly put you close to the monastery.
Oh no, I was trying to get way far away from the monastery.
They're lousy tippers too.
Also, you had some connections here in Messer Sachs with
They just give you different kinds of tips, like
their higher level mage type. You basically save their water elemental bowl and stuff. So if they have a teleportation circle in Messer Sachs, that particular person would probably know about it.
Is Messer Sachs like right on the bay there?
It's on
Yeah.
the coast. Yeah.
John had a map once
I
upon
like
a
that.
time. It's probably different now, though.
No, it's still the map.
Hey,
Oh,
John, are you saying that we're going to 10th level? Are you saying that?
I said you're going to 10th level soon,
at some point.
and you're running out of your regular army time, and you're going to get your knighthoods, and you're going to get your properties. So I'm trying to establish where those will be.
Yeah, I was just wondering if I could make the 10th level updates, but I guess not yet.
See,
I was also wondering if people wanted to go to the new rules at 10th level, but
Yes, I do.
we'll stick with the old rule.
I don't care if monks go to the new rule. They don't involve me.
Oh, they will.
Like I said, you should be able to pick and choose certain things as long as you pick a bad thing with a good thing.
So I got this wonderful thing here for magic users, but it sucks here because of a monk. But that's okay. There's my bad thing.
No, I mean, the good thing I would like is to be able to relearn a spell on a short rest. Swap out a spell on a short rest, and it's like, well, what shitty thing could I give up? Well, okay, these spells have turned shitty, so how about I accept the shitty versions of these spells or whatever?
Could be, or like I said, I'll look into the scrolls, and possibly there's just better scroll opportunities, and then you wouldn't
super scrolls.
You wouldn't necessarily need to swap out a spell because you got it on the scroll.
Well, I'd still like the flexibility of just being able to. It's like, because I've got all these damn spells, and one never hardly gets to use them. And this would make it easier to use them. So they fixed that so that you watch these guys online, playing these games, and they seem to like just pull any spell out of their ass that they need. It's like, you happen to have that one memorized, did you? It's like, whatever. But so it seems that now that's like, okay, let's wait an hour and then I can have it. Seems like a fine thing, move things along.
Okay, I'll find out where Bibbs would want to, hold out.
Well, anywhere there's
I
nice
assumed that she wanted on the property she bought, maybe.
Well, not necessarily. I
Mm.
mean,
Not
that
necessarily.
was available, and it's, but possibly that puts her down here,
but if she-
and there is a teleportation circle down here.
But if she's talking about, a keep, a bastion, that may not be the appropriate place. This was just a out in the woods hideaway for her and her kitty before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
It's not a
Okay.
place where you can necessarily employ a bunch of people to do cool things for you.
and her area area kind of got given over to, not her area specifically, but the neighborhood was pretty much given to the lizard folk. They moved them from here down to here.
Yeah, I'd like to deflect the tax. Yeah, that would be good.
But you
Right.
know, if Dave, if they like go, hey, we got a temple up here in Nervy that needs, you know, someone looking over it, and it's got a magic circle up there. You know, then the fact that he was far away is not, you know, that big of a killer on things. And he could get land next to that and build his stuff and run the temple and, you know,
Yeah.
build his hospital.
Okay. So
Population up there, you know.
Is there
need-
population up there to feed a hospital?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but
You should
the
just
fact-
open
the
a
fact-
gentle repose clinic.
the fact that it has a magic circle means anybody sufficiently wealthy will be going there.
I mean, it's decent population up here.
Male circle.
Let me double check Nervy. Yeah, there's, oh, well, okay. Yeah, that's paper industry. And for some reason, all sorts of warriors hang out there. So they're going to need a hospital.
Oh, you've self-inflicted that.
What is a hospital? It's is non-magical ways to heal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so I would
Oh,
think that
I
the
don't
high level
know.
people they would
Why
be
not
using
magical stuff too?
Well, you could do that, but also, you know, that's where industries that set up like the medical kits and stuff. So, I mean, that sort of bashing can be turning out those med kits. that
See, where
people
did-
use to
I
bind-
mean, if they do paper and stuff, I assume they got to do logging and shit, and that's dangerous crap.
yeah, well, yep, there's a hardy group up there.
Turkey.
And you know, Ursa's big on the military, healing in the military kind of guys. So you know, healing a bunch of fighters and things. She's used to doing that sort of shit.
Gila monster.
There is that. And yes, there is a decent military grouping up there as well.
Indeed.
They've historically been up here just to protect from any potential pirate threats over here.
And you know, if Kime would prefer something, you know, not as in the big city stuff, then you know, somewhere nearby there.
Time's already heavily invested in Lenore.
Well,
She's not all that invested.
I don't know how heavily invested that is, but
No. That was back when she got a little extra cash.
But the point is, there is a magic circle there, right?
There is a magic circle.
So you know she can invest even more heavily there and be next to a magic circle.
well, it's
Yes,
the
but
magic.
like I said, a lot of her area that she might want to buy was taken over by lizard men.
And that magic circle is controlled by the military, you know, and
Yep. I mean,
if you
There's-
wanted a place with commercial use of a magic circle, that's not that best place.
but
As knights, don't we have connections to the
oh yes,
military?
you continue to work with the government. So
Oh, yeah, but I mean, if you're trying to, you know, make a place that does something that, you know, you want to bring in people and become popular and, you know, have, you know, provide a service, you know, if it's a place that's easily to get to by magic
Mm.
circle, that makes it easier to sell your stuff or offer your service. It's like, oh, you can do this combining magic items thing. Cool. Have you got a magic circle there? No, you got to take a ship and you got to go over there and this.
I'll
and
take
that.
a ship. Oh,
I can ship my pants.
Take a ship. You know, you got to do
Can
all
ship
that
my
stuff to get
pants.
there. Where if it's like, yeah, you go to this magic circle, just that magic user there, you pay him, he'll send you there, and then you can get all your magic items worked on. You get a lot more people, you know, buying your magic item upgrade stuff that way.
I shipped my pants. It was very convenient.
I shipped my bed.
Market access.
Yeah.
Yeah, transportation. Transportation rules. So you know,
Okay.
we just didn't know about all these things because we never used them.
You know, it's
And
for the-
there aren't a huge number of people around who can do it. But you know, maybe all of them just got up to that level and then just went, something dangerous is going on if I go higher. I think I'll just become a teleportation guy. Maybe that's why all there aren't any high level mages. They've all opted out for cushy jobs. There's a bunch of them in places like spending years making teleportation circles that are about to go online.
My martial arts dice are higher.
We got 3 or 4 people who came down and threw one up.
Yeah, they are.
Okey doke.
Hokey doke, poke, yoke, choke. I want to read the Bastions thing.
Yeah, I need to read it as
How many pages is it? Is it
Uh,
a whole chapter?
20 or so. Yeah, it's towards the end of the book. I mean, it's got a
Who's
ton of
Sebastian?
chapter. Well, yeah, it's things like at 5th level, you can you've always been working towards this sort of thing, and now you get your kitchen and your bathroom. You can pick these 2 items. This is free. If you want this, it's this big. If you want to spend more money on it, I mean, D&D really has nothing for people to do with their money. So I think this also takes care of that. Unless you're a wizard, you have to pay for spells. Everybody else, if you give the same amount of money that the wizard needs, then they end up with like Christie's, like, I got all this cash.
What can I spend it on?
And so, yeah, so bastions. I don't want no 40 by 40 room. Make it 120 by 120, bitch.
Well, you're gonna heat it.
Well, yeah, that's part of the expenses. See, if you stick with the basics in the bastions, you get them for free.
Or you partition it and have a lot of little rooms, and each of them has their own fireplace, so you only have to heat the one you're using, or ones you're using.
So, yeah.
See, for Timidor, you know, a wizard's keep, you know, should be on a cliff face somewhere to allow easy draining of mud to rock in the lower layers. And then you can build all sorts of crap, and you know it's relatively inaccessible because people can't easily scale cliffs and things.
In fact, you can make it more so.
Yeah, but I mean, and then you could like just get down to the main road and stuff with a couple teleports, boop boop, you know, and then head into town. So it doesn't have to be far from town. So yeah, those same mountains over there between Hartwald and Messersax, fine place to set up a wizard.
That's right. That's right. Since you can't set it up on the ethereal plane or the astral plane yet.
Get down on it.
And you know, set up a fake place so that whoever these people are who hate like big name wizard, big high level wizards come blast your place, they'll just hit the fake area. Whereas the good parts are all hidden in multi levels.
Like all good dungeons, multi.
Look, skyscrapers don't all have one level, do they? No.
No, and yeah, and
Yeah, let's do a skyscraper crawl when we go up.
bastions.
Oh, that would never work. Skyscrapers are too vulnerable to certain things.
Depends on what you got for shielding.
Basic, yeah, crewmates at 5th level and at 9th level. So at
So,
9th
like, the
level,
lot-
at 9th level,
lot
you're supposed to have 4 special facilities. 4 special facilities. The special facilities would be like an armory, a barrack, a garden, a library, a sanctuary, smithy, storehouse,
I
workshop,
don't need a lot of runners coming to me, you know.
meeting house, greenhouse, laboratory, stables, theaters, training area, trophy room, an archive, a menagerie, observatory,
Observatories.
a guild house, a war room. So yeah,
all
you
your
have 4.
all your different medical wards, your magical healing, your mundane healing.
All you can afford is a band-aid? Well, we'll give it to you with a smile.
Yeah, don't see hospital. Weird.
Well, if we're not going to play, I think I'll sign out unless there's anything else you need from me, John.
We could communicate, online and
Okay.
do some designing and whatnot.
All right.
Pondering.
Okay.
Dave is awesome. Play him out.
Hey,
See you later.
Gonna play golf tomorrow?
My name is Dave. And
I don't know.
am awesome.
I might.
We'll see if
Oh.
Bibbs is barfy still.
Ooh, that's kind of sick. Poor kid. Dang. We'll talk to you later.
Is that what she's doing?
My
She's actually
boy,
throwing up?
Dave.
She got the flu or something?
Yeah, she's been throwing up.
Wow.
Dave's not here.
Maybe Nora came to visit.
Okay, we'll try again for the 14th.
That's a December kind of place.
Who else do we have to tell? Just Bibbs, right? We don't know if she can do the 14th.
Bibbs said she should be free most of December if she's not sick.
I'm free.
I'm
Yeah.
free. I'm
And-
free.
And George couldn't do it the 7th, so
He
14.
got something on his schedule.
Hey, he's got something on the calendar.
Yeah.
Brush
On
that
the
off.
family calendar.
The family calendar.
Calendar.
Marie calendar.
She makes good pie.
Good pie. Good pie.
Pie. Nine. It's a pie, guys. Oh,
So you should you should just read us all the Bastion stuff.
Is this Bastion stuff you're reading in the DMG or in the
Apparently.
Yes,
Okay.
in the DMG. No, I'm gonna share this first. Sorry. Share.
I dare ya. I double dare ya. I triple dog dare ya.
Triple dog dare you.
Double dog.
Breach
dare
of
ya.
protocol.
Where did we breach our protocol?
I love it. Triple dog.
Oh, that one.
So this was the Messer Sachs area, George.
It's not coming through yet.
Oh, okay.
It says you've started screen. Oh, there it goes.
There you go. Now in the south in the southwest area, you see there's Fiddler's Green.
I remember that place.
I've-
George
And,
was getting drunk and screwing some woman or something.
I saw
there was
Proof
the
I mean,
full
Stroop.
screen.
and there's the Buchan area where that Hobbit Rowan, I think her name was. She had the smoked meats right there by Fiddler's Green, which is already
Pulled pork.
We got the meats.
And then there was that crane house area that led to an underground area. So there is an underground area under that high mountain area, which is where you guys went down and were fighting the water elemental and the thieves who were coming in after the
I remember
boy.
this. I was jumping
And
around out here.
you were jumping around even further south in that
Yeah,
underbite area.
that's right. I remember that.
But there is probably ground in the underground layer where you people could shape some stuff. And certainly in the Fiddler's Green area, one of these houses could be knocked down to put up a theater or some sort of bastion. And that is already
Fiddler's Green not a
Fiddler's Green
for
is a big open area, I believe.
okay.
Like the main stair area is a big open area, but there's a lot of temporary tents and stuff. So Fiddler's Green itself is the same sort of place. I believe there's
I-
also, yeah, I was going to say
I
there's
keep
also,
conflating it with the real world because
Yeah.
I've been to Fiddler's Green in Colorado and there's a stage and everything.
well, I'm just saying this has got, the things you like most. There's fresh bakery goods and
I
smoked
see
meat.
that.
Fresh bacon?
Well,
And then,
smoked meat is fresh bacon.
Yeah.
And where do they hide the teleportation circle?
Well, like I said, there may be one. I got to look at my maps of that particular area.
That's right. That's why I'm saying maybe your maps are going to change a little.
That's certainly possible. I just know that underneath that hill is a pretty secretive area, so they could easily have something like that down there.
Well, but if it's for a commercial use too, then it can't be too secret.
There's possibly one there in the brig in the military area over there to the east.
And maybe they let commercial use of it. Maybe it's only been recently made. Like I said, there could be people been working for the last couple of years making some.
Oh, my bad.
Just coming online.
I see north. It's another one of those maps that's the wrong way.
Oh, fuck me. Where's north?
Now it's north. So
It
Fiddler's
can't-
Green is in
No,
the
it hasn't
southeast.
changed. It hasn't changed.
yet.
Where's the north
Oh.
arrow? Oh, there
Oh.
it is.
Oh, there it
I
goes.
see it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's annoying.
That's annoying. Because it's cut off now.
So did it flip?
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah, it's-
rotated finally.
Oh, okay.
You have
But
to go
it's
the other
cut
way.
off.
to
I think
see
it's cut
the
off. I
Fiddler's
just
Green.
have to scroll.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, I don't know that I can scroll. Can I scroll? Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta click on that window. Even then it doesn't scroll very well.
Yeah, I can't
No, I
get
can't
all
No,
get
the
I
it.
can't
Oh.
scroll.
Maybe somebody else scrolled. Maybe John scrolled.
I did scroll.
Yeah, I would think
So
John
I
would-
scrolled
There
down
we
to
go.
There you go.
Fiddler's Green.
Now you can see Fiddler's Green.
See, so in the Bastion stuff on page 347,
Yes.
one of the items is a teleportation circle.
Oh, is it a special? What is it?
It's a level 9 Bastion facility.
Oh,
Prerequisite none, space, roomy, hirelings 1, order recruit, whatever the hell that means. It allows you to recruit a spellcaster. It's like, how did you get this? How much you have to pay for a level 9 Bastion facility?
well, like I said, in some cases, I didn't see that in the list. So
Well, I'll let the owners of the DMGs 2024 talk about it. I think I'd be taken off then.
Well, boy.
Boy, boy.
okay.
See you tomorrow when we play mini golf, which I'll be able to play this week, not being so sick and all. Shake, shake, shake the pudding. Take my pills.
So yes, they just call it a facility, a bastion facility. So yeah, apparently you get that free.
What, the teleportation circle?
Because you get special facilities. ninth level, you're supposed to get 4 special facilities. So I'm gonna have 4 teleportation circles.
And the way they use it is you can like each time you use it you place an order or some shit. I don't know what this means. And you get to have a wizard come in and cast some spell or spells for you, and then they take off. So it's like, oh yeah, it's like I prefer to have it for the teleportation circle itself, please.
Yeah, it seems like you want them to teleport you something.
Well, that could be what the spell you ask for, but it's just for recruiting someone that's cast any kind of spells for you.
Hmm.
From what I read, you can ask the spellcaster to cast one wizard spell of level 4 or lower. If you're level 17 plus, then the spell's maximum level is increased to 8. Spellcasters assume to have the spell prepared. Spellcaster stays for 14 days or until they cast the spell for you. Then the spellcaster
Teleportation circle's level 5, though, isn't it?
says level 9.
No. I mean the spell.
Oh, the
teleportation.
spell, yes.
That's 5th.
5th level.
Yeah, it would be much nicer if it was 5th level instead of 4th level.
What? Oh, yeah. Well, if you're higher level, it says at level 17 plus, you get to request a 8th level spell.
Yeah, so if you're 9th level, you can request 4th. So maybe
So
at
then
10th
then
level,
it doesn't
request 5th.
it doesn't tick up after that, or just waits until you're 17 and then you get another.
I would think at 10th level, yeah, get teleportation circle.
I would think it ramps up between them. But
That would be the whole point of having the teleportation circle.
I haven't
There's
read any of this.
somebody sends you off fully loaded. Theater, level 9. Okay. Space, vast, hirelings, 4. You issue, you can do events. You can have someone compose and write you songs. Direct or conduct some sort of symphony. And probably get some people to come in and perform when you're not there.
Order and power. See, I don't know what any of this stuff means. Space, vast. See, I just jumped in. I was just like looking for the bastion part and just spotted teleportation circle and went, yes, please. What is this?
The vast space means 36 squares. So I think these are 5 by 5 squares.
I don't think that's vast, but okay.
Well, that's what they call the facility. Vast is 36 squares.
All right. When roomy space for a teleportation circle? What's roomy?
16 squares.
So you mean 4 by 4?
Yeah, I guess.
So at 5 foot square,
yeah.
you're talking a 20 by 20 room?
I guess.
All right. That's roomy. I guess none of my rooms are actually 20 by 20.
I mean, I look at this bedroom I spend my whole life in, and it's pretty much 10 by 10. when I draw 10 by 10 on a dungeon map, I went, man, that's cramped. Nobody could live in that fucking shit. It's like, and here I'm doing it in the room where I'm making that map.
That room's bigger than 10 by 10, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, let's see. These are 1 foot tiles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 12 by 12, maybe.
All right. That's gross.
Teleportation circle changed in 2024 too.
Uh-oh. How'd they screw it up?
Which one am I looking at? I'm trying to determine which of these is the new one. Basically, it's one of them was a 5 foot circle that you draw. The new one, I think, no, think the new one is 5 foot. It was 10.
Oh, because it was always 10.
Yeah, now it's 5.
Oh, no wonder I wasn't getting
5 foot radius.
I was reading the DMG, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorting through
Never
ma-
mind. It's just wording. The original one was 10 foot diameter. Now it's a 5 foot radius.
Oh, well, I'm upset about that change. All this new talk about radius.
So it says it costs a 50 gold piece worth of rare inks. But it says if you want a permanent one, you have to do it every day for 365 days. So is that 50 gold pieces a day?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're
So-
spending.
So making
Yeah,
these
to make
things
a
is
permanent one
costly.
would be
Wait.
18,250.
They're calling teleportation circles ink now.
I thought it was ink or chalks or whatever it
I
said.
thought it was chalk and gem dust.
Yeah, you are correct. It used to be rare chalks and inks infused with precious gems. Now it just says rare inks,
Oh.
which, probably means rare chalks and inks were infused with precious gems. That's why they
I mean,
cost
'cause
50 gold pieces.
How the hell are you going to make inks that cost 50 gold pieces? Whereas I could easily see, having to put powdered chalk or powdered gems in your chalk.
Yeah.
Okay. So they list some of these special facilities with the order. So the order is what they can do. So if you have something that empowers, they empower somebody somehow. Like the arcane study, for instance, the order is what you can tell them to do so they can craft. The armory can trade. The barrack can recruit.
Barrack can recruit to do what though?
Probably hire more expert hirelings or warriors to, which you can use as an army or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Jumping right into the middle isn't making any sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, empower is like training area. So you're going to make someone better. I think that's what they mean by empower. Menagerie, you recruit so you can go get new animals.
Yeah,
Research, a pub is research. I guess that's where you get all your rumors and stuff. That's the kind of research you can do. You can do surveys.
Sure.
You can
nowadays
harvest.
that counts as research.
Yeah. So you can craft, you can trade, you can harvest, you can recruit, or empower. Yeah, I don't see where they describe those.
Well, like I say, each one maybe just tells you. This one tells you what you're recruiting is the
Yeah,
help
I
of a
mean,
wizard.
I'm getting that through context, but maybe it's in the gore glossary.
I mean,
Lore.
it says for the teleportation circles, says each time you issue the recruit order to this facility, its hireling extends an invitation to a friendly NPC spellcaster. Roll any die. If the number rolled is odd, the invitee declines the invitation and you gain no benefit. If the number is even, the invitee accepts and the invitation arrives in your bastion via the teleportation circle. So I mean they gotta be able to cast 5th level spells if they're gonna come there themselves.
Yeah, but it may be that they come there and they've used up their 5th level slot.
Yeah, but they hang around for 14 days.
Okay, yeah.
It's just it seems silly to, like, as you say, keep. Well, but maybe they go. I ain't giving you my 5th level slot today. I got to keep it.
Well, I think it's more likely. Yeah, I'm not paying 50 gold pieces of precious inks. You supply that shit. I don't think anybody's
Oh
doing.
no. The thing says you have to pay for any material components.
Okay, good.
No. That's.
Oh, yeah, I can see them going. I used my 5th to get here, and I got this Umberhulk that's coming after me. I gotta hang on to plane shit or whatever the fuck. So I'll give you my 4th. Why is this
Could-
guy even coming?
Or it could be it's like, hey, anybody want to come here, or we'll let you through our magic circle, and some wizard's going, yeah, I wanted to go up there, so I can then head over and do whatever, and you
Yeah.
can use your magic circle. Cool. Otherwise, I can't because you got me locked in a box or something.
That's true. I just got to populate the world now with bastions, and that solves the teleportation circle problem at the same time.
At least
And
for the
then-
bastions that have them.
Well, yeah, I'm saying Timidor might get invited to one of these bastions.
Hello.
You get a message in your head. Hey, if you want to come, I'll send you the 3, seagulls you need.
And you got to cast some spells for it.
You got to cast a 4th level spell when you get here.
You see, it's goofy that they would get such little work out of a mage, because for a
Yeah.
mage casting 4th levels, that's nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're gonna bother to show up at the place, you know,
Well, I would assume they do other stuff. They just don't want to, they just don't want to give the players an infinite amount of spells because Sir Roderick showed up. Whoop.
yeah, but I mean, who paid for him to get to cast the teleport spell to get there?
Yes, I'm assuming, that's probably the government. So these people just don't come because you summoned them. They're under some obligation.
I don't know.
That's the sort of stuff that I have to read and ponder and make sense. And it's like, nobody's going to do this. Who's going to do this? Nobody's going to do it.
Hoosker do.
You're going to do this. Why am I going to do this? Because you owe us this. Oh, yeah, there's that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, allowing somebody access to your teleportation circle.
Yep. Oh,
that
yeah.
that could be a useful thing. It's like him and 20 other guys come through who
Yep.
he's all charged the teleportation fee to. He's like, man, you can make a hefty bunch of money on a deal like that.
Yeah, I can see that. And people should certainly be able to charge their 50 gold pieces worth. If that means bringing 5 extra guys.
Well, even that's fine. I mean, you can bring a lot more people. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to show up, but these 120 other people are going to show up too. Just let them on out. It's like that.
I think in general, it's going to be hard to get 120 people in your 6 seconds.
Well, I don't know. Do they all have? I mean, can't they all come from different directions? It just hit the barrier and poof, and just they keep going. They're not going to run into each other on the other side.
Awesome.
However many it is, you still, you charge them a pittance, relative pittance each for getting across the continent, and you've easily made your money.
It's a gold piece to go, but you got to be fast. There's no refunds for you at the end of the line.
Yeah, well,
I mean, like bag and you go back and you hold up those people behind you.
10 gold pieces.
You don't want people in front of you? Okay, 2 gold pieces.
10 gold pieces to cross the continent? Like, that'd be a good deal for anybody.
10 people, you're right up on the
circuit, or if half of you doesn't make it.
It's just that you charge more for the people up front.
Yeah, you guys you're in steerage back there. You may not get to go today. It's like you're on the waiting list on Southwest Airlines.
Yes, and we may bump you if somebody comes and pays more money.
Who's in the gold medallion?
You know, it's like seems like a deal.
A ding
They
dang.
charge
deal.
extra for luggage.
Oh yeah, unless you're carrying it. All you can carry while running. Cool.
But yes, ninth level to get the teleportation circle in the bastion.
What does that
So
mean, ninth level?
that means, a lot of these lords and ladies out there who aren't ninth level don't automatically get one of them.
So I mean, that's the when it talks about level 13 bastion facility, level 5 bastion facility.
Well,
What determines the level of your
in the
bastion?
2024 games at 5th level, you get a bastion with 2 facilities. Once you're ninth level, you get to add on 2 more facilities. And one of them at that point could be a teleportation circle. I believe then at 13th level, you get some more. Or it may be possible you get 2 at 5th level and you get 4 additional ones at 9th level.
So if we were to get bastions at our higher level, we'd be already getting several items.
Maybe so. Or maybe I just give you the fists. Like I said, I'll read through.
Yes. Bastion.
One would hope that they would have one Rurik the Restless example in there. It's like Bob at 9th level wizard has his outhouse, which is cramped, and his kitchen, which is a 4x4. And now he's gone to 9th level and he's going to add 4 more of these
He
facilities.
could put them in separate rooms.
But I mean, that would be nice if they gave you that example and then you go, okay, so 6 facilities now. I understand. But yeah, I know you get some free ones, you get some special ones. And the free one is like a bedroom, something like that. And as I don't know, do they have these on D&D Beyond yet, George? Because I figure they're going to start charging people money to use creating software to build their bastions and send maps to other people.
I know they're adding a similar thing to like Owlbear. They got. I'm not sure if it's still in beta or not, but it's a virtual tabletop. I'm not sure what else they have. I mean, they've always had all kinds of stuff that you could pay extra for with your subscriptions and stuff.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, I figure bastions, they were going to nickel and dime people to death.
Oh, look.
Oh, you want to send this to your
front
DM?
page, right on the front page, there's a link to Exploring Bastions from the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide.
Well, click on it. If it doesn't cost you any money, what's it do? What's it say?
There's a shit ton of stuff here. I'll share my
You've
screen.
clicked on a place where you can spend money.
It doesn't cost anything to look at it. Let's see here.
I think I still have a D&D Beyond account.
This one.
I think I signed up 3 years ago to look at Sage advice. What is a bastion? Acquiring, building, hireling, bastion turns. Oh, that's just stuff from the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe this guy goes into depth a little bit. It looks like there's quite a bit of stuff he wrote here. So, anybody getting dizzy yet? I'm not going to scroll through all that.
Hey, go back to that graphic that showed a teleportation circle. I didn't. Maybe it's in my book. I didn't see it, but I saw it when you scrolled by. It just had a map. Yeah, that one.
Oh, there we go.
There it is, teleportation circle. Right under your arcane study, so that people can just attack you in the middle of the night. That's good.
Yeah, and your bedrooms are right there too. Teleport in, come steal your stuff, but first let's go by and kill you.
In your sleep.
How
That's
do you get? How do you get out of? That's a stupidly arranged place.
Well,
Well,
there's
it is just a sample bastion built using Project Sigil, which
Yeah,
is
it's a
currently in development.
stupid sample bastion.
yeah. Well, I kind of do want a nice graphics program where I can do 3D sort of isometric stuff like that.
Well, I guess you look at Project Sigil. Who knows?
I
Yeah.
just saw something recently too that is maybe like a free program for doing stuff like that. I'll have to see if I can
Mm.
find it again.
Bastion Stardust.
By the way, I asked the AI companion to catch me up, and it apparently knows how to spell Messersax.
Wow. How did it
Oh,
do that?
Since
I'm not
Stroop
even-
is to consider setting up a theater in the Messersax area.
wow. I mean, yeah, I guess we said it. But yeah, it probably didn't do the weird spelling I got with a CH.
Dungeon
It used an
Masters
X.
to find one of the next steps is that for the Dungeon Master to find out where Bibbs would want to set up her bastion.
Yeah, I don't have that graphic here, so that graphic.
Well, I can
I would
How
notice
I can put a
that-
link to that. I'll put a link to that you can easily get to if you want to look at it.
How come when I click on meeting summary, nothing appears?
Whoops. Doesn't help if I put that in the AI companion, though. Where's my chat box?
Here's a summary of the meeting so far. The group discussed plans for setting up bastions, strongholds / bases, for their characters as they approach 10th level. They looked at maps of different areas in Svarta to decide where to locate their bastions. Sagan wants to expand his monastery area. Ursa is considering setting up a hospital in Nervi, not spelled correctly. And Stroop is looking at establishing a theater in Messersax, not spelled correctly, really.
Well, it's spelled correctly on mine.
Oh. They didn't say what I want. They discussed the new D&D 2024 rules for Bastion, including facilities like teleportation, sir. Fuck, you could just have a teleportation. I don't think they understand how hard it is to make those. There was debate about how teleportation circles would work logistically and economically. I think they would work quite well. They examined some simple bastion layouts and graphics from D&D Beyond. Yeah, sample. Yeah, not very good. The group is still figuring out the details how bastions will work in their campaign as they transition to higher levels. Meetings seem to be a planning session for future gameplay and character development rather than active role playing. It means that I should quit pretending to be this person who's playing D&D. That was the role playing I was doing. Fooled you.
But was Sagan a butthead?
Was Sagan the biggest doofus?
Doofus. That was it.
Biggest doofus. We're not saying there couldn't have been other doofi.
Yeah, there were other doofi, but biggest doofus. Nice. I see. Yeah. That's cool. My laptop has got some weird lighting fixture, but it's really
I
just
asked
a
it
reflection.
again. I asked it if my name was mentioned, and then it spelled Mester Sachs wrong. So I corrected it, and it thanked me for the correction, and it will remember that the proper spelling.
How long will I remember it?
That's a good
This
question.
session. This session.
Yeah, probably just this session.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're not guaranteeing anything into the future here, guys.
Yeah, okay. Ask leading questions. Was Bibbs playing? AI companion. Thinking, thinking, thinking. No, Bibbs was not playing tonight. The context indicates that Bibbs was sick. Bibbs with three Bs, unable to attend the session. Specifically, it's mentioned that Bibbs is sick tonight, so we're not likely going to play, and that she has been throwing up.
Ralph, my cookies.
Ralph, my cookies.
Oh, Ralph, my cookies.
Anyone say Ralph, my cookies? If so, who? Did anyone say Ralph, my cookies? If so, who? Thinking, thinking. They should have a little blinky light for this. Based on the context, Timidor, Ronali, Ronaheli said, Ralph, my cookies, twice. Dungeon, what'd you call me tonight? Injuin?
Ingenue.
Ingenue.
I don't know the word.
It's French. You
means-
shouldn't.
It means the young female actress who's new in a movie or play.
Well, it probably has a different definition, but it does
Well.
get used for that. Yes.
It can also be used in the masculine term, not just.
I guess I have seen that before.
I don't know that I've ever read the word.
But I think I've heard it. And just guess what it meant in context, but never learned it because I never saw the word spelled. But I can never pronounce the word if I haven't heard it before. And even if I have, there's a good chance I can't. A naive, innocent girl or a young woman. The role, let's see.
Ingenue.
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 The role of an ingenue is a dramatic production. An actress playing such a role.
Ingenue.
Ingenue. I have been told by French-speaking people that I can pronounce French words fairly well.
If you know the pronunciation.
No, I was just guessing. And normally when I guess on English words, I'm completely wrong. I never put the emphasis in the right place. I just can't get it.
You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable?
Well, or I posted that joke in Imwam about the Swedish words. Because I always get the Swedish words wrong. Because they combine the words together. And so sometimes you can you take two words, you squeeze them together, and sometimes you see two different words. And so their word for crying while you masturbate to me looked like gray trunk. So I'm just
That
like,
joke, I remember that. Yeah.
yes. So I know I just saw that word in print and I went, okay, so that's grow, so that's gray and trunk. So like a gray tree trunk. And then I looked it up. Crying while you masturbate. It's just like, oh, so it was grota ruca. Runka. That's a grota runka. And I said, the Swedes got a word for that? That's a tearjerker.
No, that was the punchline. I remember now.
Yes. Yes.
The fact that they
Remember
have,
the wankers.
the fact that they have a word for it is, you know,
That's the guy from What We Do in Shadows. I like him. So grota runka. I just gave it to
the runk all right.
I just gave it to the AI companion, but I didn't ask a question. I just what does rotorunka mean? Oh. Oh man. It answered me in Swedish. Motorsugsgrifen ger inte information specific.
Well, they figure only a Swede's asking about this.
Ja, men baserat på sammanhanget verket det som att Dungeon Anujin can have, based on the context provided, grorunk is a Swedish word that means crying while masturbating. The discussion mentions this as a joke, with the punchline being the Swedes have a specific word for this action, calling it a tearjerker. Well, not quite.
Not quite, was it? Oh, yeah, okay.
You got kicked out of Hobby Lobby because you were dipping your testicles in glitter?
Swedish have a word for that.
Yeah, pretty nuts.
Oh, that's pretty nuts. I heard the Swedes also recently elected a president. No,
Did they?
I heard the well, that wasn't the joke. It was,
This is a joke.
yeah, it was a joke. It's like, oh, the IKEA recently elected a new president for their company. He's also still assembling his cabinet.
That's not too bad. Yeah. Okey doke.
Yeah, I suppose.
So I'll look more into bastions, but I'll spend less time looking at 2024 rules.
And figure out where they're going to send us to kill things or explore things. You know, maybe we could send explore multi-level dungeon that they got uncovered. They're not going to send it.
Oh, that's it. That's it. A multi-dungeon devil
Multi-level.
dungeon.
You got to have got a surprise Jim with a multi-level dungeon. We go in, we take out this place, and then all of a sudden the floor falls in that one room, and it's like, oh, looks like there's more levels.
I didn't know you needed multi-levels to be a dungeon crawl. That was news to me. So,
Well, you know, maybe all those levels we just did in that area, maybe they are all stacked on one top of the other, and they just transport.
well, they were extra planar, so you don't know.
Exactly.
But
Your planer?
they weren't necessarily harder the deeper you went. See, that was the critical part of having multiple levels. These are
Well-
first level monsters, second level monsters. Because apparently the cool boys hang out at the bottom.
For some reason.
It's only the derbs and dweebs and novices that hang out at the top.
I
That's-
asked
that's
about
kinda what I liked about-
multi-levels. It
That's
seems
what I
to
liked
think
about
that I
crowd-
suggested the idea of players entering a dungeon, clearing one area, and then having the floor collapse to reveal additional levels.
Oh, you did that. Nice.
I don't think I did.
I don't think he did.
But
I
think
was
I
reading
did.
some history on Greyhawk Castle, and then the idea there was the adventurers were clearing out levels and going deeper, and then they would take over levels and they were running them, and then other people came down and were fighting them and shit like that. And it's just like, hey, this is a nice level. Let's take it for ours. We can charge people money if they stay above us and shit like that. Otherwise, we'll go up and kick their ass. Meanwhile, we'll go up levels and then we'll fight the devils when we're stronger. You know, that sort of shit.
Say
It all
what?
seemed like, a little far fetched. But yes, I mean,
Have
it makes
either
a
of you
certain amount of
watched
sense to.
Delicious in Dungeon.
I have
I
not because I don't have it available to me.
I don't have it, but you were talking before
Yeah,
about
it's a good
like
show anyway. But you're
where
talking
they killing
about that,
monsters
it
and
was
then
just
cooking
sort of-
recipes out of them. That sort of.
George is far away from his microphone, I'll tell you that much.
Sorry. But they imply overall that this whole dungeon is run by, certain people in the local government type thing. So, they send people in to clean up certain things and restock and shift things around. It just reminded you were talking about that, and it just kind of reminded me of that.
Change the quarters so they go over here and bring in some new goblins.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It was implying that the dungeon as a business model, basically.
You see, and they make their money out of the ones who die and take their stuff, I guess.
And have either of you read Dungeon Crawler Carl?
I have not.
Because that's a definitely follows the different level getting harder and harder setup.
Well, he's a
And
dungeon.
it's most amusing.
Yeah, Jim's got 6 of them. I'll get to, but we're just about. We got like 11 days left on our subscription, so whether we continue or not, we may stop for a while, then join back up again later on.
So
I've
you've
read
read all
most of the library. What's that?
Till you've read all your books. We need more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I bought a whole bunch of books to burn off my credits there at the end. And then Jim renewed my subscription, and so it was another year where I wasn't reading my books. I just reading everything that was free in the libraries that looked interesting. So I still got my like dozen or so books I haven't touched, or more, because I did a lot of 2-for-1 offers. And when they had their 78% off sale, I bought a shit ton of books. So I think I got probably about 30 some books. So yeah, I don't need any free libraries for a while.
Fancy that.
Fancy that.
Suppose we could stop the
I
recording.
I'm just impressed that it answered me in Swedish when I basically
Ask it a Swedish word.
typed in crying
is impressive.
masturbation. I mean, normally when I do translations of Swedish, or when I used to use Google Translate. Google Translate was horrible,
Oh,
but it's because Google, just gives you the literal definitions. And so when I wrote some Swedish conversations in one of the stories I wrote, it's like, how long ago was that? Maybe like 8 years ago. I did the best I could, and then I was going to get around to asking a Swede, "Is this how this should be?" And then I threw them through Google Translate, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. But now with the more modern free AIs out there, I went, "What's this say in Swedish? Give it to me in English." And they give it to me in English. It's like, yeah, that's pretty much what I want. But then I went, but is that the way a Swede would say it? Oh no, a Swede would say this instead. I was like,
oh,
holy fuck,
oh, no.
you know.
This
But then
makes you, this makes you sound like a brain damaged Belgian.
well, that's essentially it. They would understand you, but they would look at you and give
They
you
would
the stink.
pat you on the head and give you a cookie. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
He
It's like,
he
well, how
tries
would they
so
say it?
hard.
he tries.
Yeah,
Bless,
they would say
bless
it
his
like,
little heart.
and I got a Swedish comic fan that I'm Facebook. We talk back and forth, and some days when I'm feeling, Morrissey Hebrew, I'll actually try sending him messages in Swedish. And he normally is like, yeah, okay, gives me the nod and this that, because he's a big language guy. And then just out of the blue, I went and gave it to the little AI program I've been using. It's just like, but how would a Swede actually say it? And then he came back with this. Now, this is what the Swede told me. This is what I want to say. Translate that literally, and then show me how a Swede would really say it. So I look at both of them, and then I sent the second one back to the Swede, and he wrote me back, "Did you write this?"
Because this don't seem like your babble.
Because
You're a third grade pigeon.
he was quite impressed and actually pissed because
That now he's out of a job because AI will do
well,
it.
he did do languages and stuff, and he doesn't like the idea that people don't actually learn languages and stuff now, just having computers do it. But Google Translate, he was saying, well, that stuff's shit, and everyone knows it's shit. But that thing you sent me, which was about a weird subject to begin with, and you give him back like a perfect answer.
He's
So,
like,
yeah,
damn AI are gonna take over. What do we have left? Who's
he
gonna
was-
write? We're gonna have to actually put words in our Lego instructions.
who was it? I saw Jamie Lee Curtis was posting on Blue Sky. Not on Blue Sky, but somebody posted it on X. This is what Jamie Lee Curtis is saying. And she was working for a distant relative who was writing a horror book. And please submit to me, the best ideas you have for horror, the stuff that scares you the most, and we'll give you credit and possibly a cash prize, a mention in the beginning of the book. It's like, so you're not even coming up with your own ideas, and then you're gonna have AI write the fucking story afterwards, just so your fifth cousin once removed or whatever will get some credit, and you'll give me back a pizza or something. Fuck you, bitch.
Give us some good ideas. We
I
need
don't know
some.
what
We
Blue
need,
Sky
and-
is, but I was at Blue Sky Bakery today.
Oh, that sounds good. What they have?
Oh, everything that Grandma's used to have. Apparently, we found out today that Grandma's Bakery was bought by Blue Sky.
I don't know what Grandma's Bakery is, so okay.
They're a very famous bakery.
I
at
never
least
heard
in Minnesota.
of it. At least in Minnesota. You grew up in Minnesota, Tom. Don't you know everything?
Did they make the grandma's cookies that were sold in grocery stores?
I'm not sure.
because that's the only grandma's bakery type stuff I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And those were pretty good. Those grandma's cookies.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a huge operation. You know,
Oh.
you actually are at the manufacturing place when you
In
go
a
to this
giant
bakery.
barn where they're cooking.
Yeah, basically.
I was going to say, what I miss is, you know, when I was in the apartment in Sweden, you come out of the apartment, you walk half a block, and there was a bakery right there, and they would make these little kiwi desserts, which are basically sort of a wafer with sliced kiwi on it, then coat it with, you know, chocolate. That was
Hmm.
a quarter, and it was like wonderful. Plus,
Never
every
been a
morning,
big kiwi fan.
oh, I love kiwi. And the Swedes were good about kiwi. They didn't mix it with lime or strawberry, whatever the fuck. You want a kiwi pop? There you go. Straight kiwi pop.
But don't buy those wanker
But,
sobbing cookies.
no, that kiwi. The Grota Runka.
Hey,
I'm going to ask the AI a question.
where should
Hey,
Kaimi set up her
AI.
base?
How would a Swede in Swedish ask buy 2 pounds of cheddar cheese? That's an easy.
I want to buy 2 pounds of cheddar cheese. Said cheddar cheese. Who's
I mean,
gonna do?
This has nothing to do with our session. Based on the context, oh, I don't have enough accurate information. But you answered me back in Swedish here.
It's like give me games. So give me games. Give me today's session summary in Swedish. Give me.
I don't remember how to say pounds in Swedish.
Game summary in German.
I svenska. Hur mycket two in svenska?
Das Treffen bietet keinen Information für einen Spielverfassung auf Deutsch. Die Conversation enthält keine stille Spielzung, sondern Abschluss Diskussion über zukünftige Spielpläne, Charakterentwicklung und verschiedene andere Themen, die nach direkt mit einer Spielzusammenfassung Zusammenfassung. What is this word they keep using?
I asked it to
Yeah.
provide a summary in Spanish.
Spio means
gave
play.
me-
What's the rest of it? Spio what?
Spielzusammenfassung.
It's playing something, I guess.
Well,
Yes.
I'm thinking it might be role playing, but I don't know.
Oh, that could be.
What is role playing game in Deutsch or something?
I asked it to provide a summary in Spanish. It gives me one paragraph in Spanish, which translated apparently says, "I'm sorry, I don't have any previous content to summarize in Spanish."
Är ingen definitiv engelska översättning av 2 pounds på svenska. So basically, in context, there was asking the definitive way to say 2 pounds in Swedish.
No, role playing game in German is Rollenspiel.
There you go. I'm sure that'll come in handy the next trivia contest.
Oh, well, we learned a lot.
But where was the treasure?
But where was the treasure is always my question. Because
Was that really a Jerry? Because I thought I came up with that for the audio recording, but maybe I audio dubbed that in because Jerry said it.
I have no
Said what?
idea. Somebody just was attributing that to Jerry, I thought.
Well, yeah, you know, we said it the other day, and Jim goes, "Ah, that Jerry," and I went, "Didn't I come up with that for the audio dubbing?" But then I don't know if I was just audio dubbing some funny Jerry stuff.
All right then. I'd have to know the stuff.
Oh well,
John can tell you what it is.
yes, I mean, just the situation was at the end of an adventure. Well, that was fun and all, and we learned a lot. But where was the treasure? You know, that's just the party member summing
I
up
guess I
after the end, talking to their dean. Yeah, and
I
Oh,
suppose
and
it's
I-
that
something
word
Jerry might say.
spiel. That word spiel Zeus is a game summary.
all right. Makes sense.
Now I asked it if Stroop was mentioned, and I said, please reply in Spanish. And it did that correctly.
Oh,
Hmm.
Sí,
So as long as
Stroop
it
fue
has a summary to deal
mencionado.
with,
Varias veces durante la conversación se discutió que Stroop estaba considerado estableció un teatro en el área de Messersex.
nice.
También participó en la conversación sobre bastiones irregulares y D&D 2024. Stroop
Very
hizo
nice.
preguntas sobre el programa Delicious in Dungeon y compartió información sobre una panadería loco llamada Blue Sky Bakery.
Blue sky don't bother me. Blue sky don't bother me.
Mr. Blue Sky is looking for.
No,
Mr.
blue sky.
Blue
dot
Sky,
social.
please tell us why.
is Sagan the biggest doofus? Answer in French. D'après le contexte, la réponse est non. Sagan n'est pas le plus grand doufus. Le contexte mentionne que Sagan était le plus grand doufus, mais précise reporterie avoir d'autres doufus. Donc, Sagan, que semble être une personne différente de Sagan, n'est pas spécifiquement identifié comme le plus grand doufus. I like that it knows the word doofy. It's got it in quotes. You said something about doofy.
Now see what it says. Was Sagan the biggest doofus? Answer in Svenska. Nej, enligt kontexten var Sagan inte den storta dåren. Det finns ingen specific information som indikerar att Sagan var den största dåren. Kontexten nämner bara att någon frågar om Sagan var den största. Men But
anyone was a doofus. Yes, Sagan was mentioned as being a doofus. Specifically, Timidor referred to Sagan as the biggest doofus.
Was Sagan the biggest doofus? Answer in English. Based on the context provided, there is no clear indication that Sagan was specifically called the biggest doofus. The conversation mentions the discussion whether Sagan was a doofus or biggest doofus, but does not provide a definitive answer. The participants seem to be joking about the topic rather than seriously labeling Sagan. Without more specific information, I cannot confirm it was Sagan that was actually considered the biggest doofus by the group. How if I tell it to answer in ASCII? No, how if I
based
tell it
on
to
the
answer?
context provided, Timidor mentioned the word doofi as a potential plural form of doofus. Specifically, Timidor said biggest doofus. We're not saying there couldn't have been other doofi. This
Indeed, I
suggests
did.
that doofi was indeed mentioned as a possible plural for doofus during the session.
That's pretty clever of it to know that that's been suggested as a plural.
Ah.
I bow down to our large language model overlords.
Hmm.
All right.
Yappers. Okay, I guess
think
I'll
that
head
might
off.
be it.
Thanks for the additional insight.
This lame has ended.
This game